Hello, Cedar Park, and welcome to Historical Heat. I'm your host, Michael Meraki, and here's the goal of this segment. We're going to try and take two history teachers, in this case, AP US History teacher Mr. Marsh and AP World History teacher Mr. Peterson, and get them to cook recipes from their respective areas of expertise. So, for Mr. Peterson, I figure we'll go ahead and do a medieval cherry pottage. It's basically this, kind of hard to explain, it's a rudimentary cherry pudding of sorts that was very common during the Middle Ages. And for Mr. Marsh, we'll go ahead and do chuck wagon steak, which is essentially just a chuck steak that's been fried up with whatever we've got lying around. But we don't have those ingredients yet, so let's hit up Randall's. No.
Why it tastes so good?
Put it away.
Why? Grab it. Then we got grapes. And cherries. Just grab the WD-40.
So, looks like you're on we're good, thank you.
Hello, Cedar Park, and welcome to Historical Heat. With me, I've got World History teacher Mr. Peterson and US History teacher Mr. Marsh, and we're going to see how well they do cooking recipes from their respective time periods. So, Mr. Peterson, we've got you something you might like. This is a recipe for a medieval cherry pudding. So
Alright,
I've got the exact wording here. It says we need to tack cherries and do out the stones and grind them well and draw them through a strainer and do it in a pot. Do thorough with gress or sweet butter and mide wasted bread and cast thorough good wind and sugar and salt it and stir it well together. Dress it in dishes and set. I can't read the rest of it. So let's go ahead and get started. Your ingredients list. We've got these organic cherries, our breadcrumbs, fine wine. Let's see, where's our powdered sugar? Right here. This is to go on top of it. And yeah, this isn't what it looks like.
That looks very authentic Middle Ages right there.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get the show on the road.
All
First
right,
things
let's do
first. It calls for us to grind up these organic cherries.
Do we want to liquefy it?
Absolutely.
We're officially liquid now.
Yep, we're definitely liquid. We've got chuck wagon steaks. So these are what would often be eaten in the frontier, and it was really ubiquitous to the point where chuck wagon steak, like the chuck wagon, like where they store the food, was called that because of the cut of steak. This was really common. It was cheap, easy to access, easy to cook, and that's why it's been associated with the American frontier. So before we crack this open, we definitely need to practice some food safety here. So I've taken the liberty of bringing some plastic gloves from home because we'll be handling raw meat, so feel free to put your food on.
Solid, I like that. I bet chuck steak was so bad. Wasn't it true at one point instead of chuck steak they just decided to,
Use rabbit and stuff like that.
well, and maybe
Horse meat,
eat
yeah.
each other as
Oh,
they're
yeah.
coming through the mountains, right?
This and tossing into avocado oil. Go ahead and get the seasoning. That's a cool recipe. Alright, yeah, that's good. Let's put that on there. Let's get ready for that sizzle. Maybe look at that.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal. Tout ça m'est bien égal.
Oh, how is it?
You know, that's not actually bad.
No, it's not. See, like when the recipe called for breadcrumbs, that's why I was like, okay, how's that gonna work? I think it would have been a little bit. I think the butter definitely helped.
Yeah, for sure,
We're not
right?
gonna rub it all together.
Now,
It's not bad though.
I'm assuming, and I kind of get the cherry. There must have been access to a lot of cherries, right? But for my liking, if it was a different berry, this is actually a really good recipe. I would do this with a raspberry. For like in today's world, I would do raspberries here.
I know, it's not as bad as we all thought.
It's got like a nice tartness,
Mm-hmm.
so it's surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Alright.
You want to fill this up? I didn't really drink out of that.
So, we're out of wine. This has gotten cold. I think we're all pretty full now. So I think we'll go ahead and call it. What's the final verdict?
I think it was good. I mean, like I said, in all fairness, if this is what they had to eat and this is what they could make, they did it, and I mean, it made them survive.
Yeah, and this wasn't really even that bad, all things considered.
Yeah.
I mean, way better than I thought.
Oh, this has been Historical Heat. Mr. Marsh and Mr. Peterson, back to y'all.